Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Sunday on this channel. Now normally we talk about things that are sci-fi and fantasy, but today, being that tomorrow is Labor Day, we're going to be talking about a couple horror movies you could watch this Labor Day. Alright, so normally we do talk about sci-fi and fantasy related stuff on Sunday, but I thought that since Labor Day was tomorrow, we would flip the script and kind of take it in a different direction. I've done several videos where I told you what horror movies you could be watching for whatever the holiday was, but I don't think we've ever actually done a Labor Day one, and that's why we're kind of doing this one. So that if you are interested in watching something a bit more scary during your holiday than the traditional movies you might find or the things you might find related to that holiday, you can go down this rabbit hole of strange movies that we've found. So first up on our list is Humongous. And Humongous is a strange little horror film. And it is from 1982. Now, the film is about a group of kids who decide to take a boat to impress their girlfriends. However, they don't know the complete history of the place they're visiting. Basically, the place they're visiting has a dark history, and there is a monstrous assailant who is hunting them down. Now, the reason is a bit more insane. You see, the actual plot of the movie reads, during Labor Day weekend in 1946, young Ida Parsons is chased into the woods and assaulted by a house guest. Her dogs break out of their pen and take care of the assaulter. Now, this is where in 1982, two brothers, Eric and Nick, borrow their father's yacht to take their girlfriend, Sandy and Donna, and their sister, Carla, on a weekend outing to St. Martin Island. Now, that is where everything goes awry, and I won't spoil too much of the plot, but it becomes a little bit insane from there. It becomes one of those movies you're either going to love or hate. But in any case, it does take place around Labor Day. And even though I'm not going to say this is the best movie you'll ever watch, if you're looking for that kind of revenge movie a little bit, maybe mixed with a tad of horror, this movie might be worth checking out. It might be something that you might like. Now, next up on our list is 2020's Happy Horror Days. Now, Happy Horror Days is one of those anthology flicks that sort of takes care of a bunch of different holidays. So in addition to Labor Day, you also have Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Independence Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's. And, you know, with all of those, you get what you expect. The stories aren't that long necessarily, but it does have a Labor Day story in it. And again, I'm not going to say this is for everyone, but if you like anthology horror and you've missed this is one you might want to check out in the future, because it is one that is an anthology-based story that if you don't like one story in it, you might find yourself liking some of the others. Next up on our list, the third movie is Labor Day itself. Now, Labor Day is a 2022 spoof of horror movies. It's set 2 years after the events of their original film, Arbor Day, as a production company has come to the town to make a movie about the serial killer Marvin Sullivan. Once they start up, however, everything goes awry. Now, that is kind of the way this movie is set up to be a spoof. So if you're looking for something that's not quite as scary and maybe kind of stupid in a way, you might find this movie to be really dumb humor, or you might find it to be kind of right up your alley. I'm not going to tell you how to think about this movie, but if you are looking for something a bit more lighthearted, you might want to check it out. I don't think it's family friendly, but however, I don't think any of the movies we're going to be talking about here today are family friendly. So keep that in mind if you have a younger audience that may be watching with you. You're going to be watching these at your own risk. Do your research before turning these movies on. That being said, the next movie on our list is Stand By Me from 1986. Now, this is more of a drama movie than it is a horror movie. The only reason this one is on our list is because as I was researching movies you can watch on Labor Day, this one just kept popping up. It kept popping up every search I did. And I said, okay, this is fine because I love this movie and I'm probably going to include it in my watch list this Labor Day myself. Just because it's been recommended in every single search you can do for movies to watch on Labor Day. So Stand By Me from 1986 is based on a short story by Stephen King called The Body. Now, this is kind of a story about Stephen King and his friends growing up, but all of his stories are kind of in that vein. So Stand By Me is included on this list mainly because it is Stephen King. It is one that came up in every search I did, and you could do a lot worse than to watch this movie this Labor Day anyway. Now, that brings us to the fifth and final one on our list, and that is The Recall from 2017. And The Recall has a very strange premise. It's a little bit sci-fi, a little bit horror. It's kind of one of those that doesn't fit into one or the other, but it fits more in with sci-fi, I would say, than an actual horror. So, during a time when strange atmospheric disturbances are occurring across the world, a group of teenagers go on a trip to a secluded college in the woods to party on Labor Day weekend. Now, unbeknownst to them, there is an alien invasion and everything goes crazy. They meet a man calling himself Hunter, who is played by none other than Wesley Snipes. That's right, this is a Wesley Snipes movie, and it is one of the ones that is a little more B-movie than it is a higher budget, extraordinary, like summer blockbuster type of horror movie. This is not gonna be that type of movie. However, you could do a lot worse than this movie. It is kind of a little scary at times, I suppose, but like I said, it's much more sci-fi than anything else, and it does star Wesley Snipes. So, if you're a fan of Wesley Snipes, you already know you're down to see this movie. And if you're not a fan of Wesley Snipes, there still is a lot to enjoy from this movie. And you could do a lot worse than to watch this movie on Labor Day as well, if you give it a chance. Now, bear in mind that I don't know what you guys might enjoy watching on Labor Day. If you are enjoying watching some pretty strange stuff, then some of this stuff might be for you. But that being said, I'm not going to tell you that any of these movies are top notch or are amazing to watch. Because if I did that and you didn't like them, you'd say, he told me this movie was amazing. And I can't really say that about any of these movies being the strange nature of the films themselves. So in that regard, just kind of give these movies a chance if you like. You might find that next great movie that you never knew existed that just might become your favorite Labor Day movie of all time. Now, that being said, my favorite movie on this list is by far Stand By Me. It is one that I just don't get sick of watching because I think the acting in it is great, and there are a lot of faces who later on would become big name stars, or at least very recognizable stars at least. And the performances are absolutely brilliant in that movie. So I was shocked to see that that one did pop up, but that's where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. If you have seen any of these movies, which one of these are your favorites to watch on Labor Day. And not only that, let me know if you know of any other Labor Day horror movies, even a Labor Day sci-fi movie that we didn't mention here. Or possibly, hey, even if you have that favorite Labor Day drama. I want to know what your favorite Labor Day movie is to watch, so make sure you drop me that name in the comment box below. Let me know what your favorite Labor Day movies are, and who knows, maybe next year we'll be able to include your pick for the best Labor Day movies you can watch. As always, we want to know what you guys think, so make sure you're leaving us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of the conversation as well. Make sure you hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel. We really do appreciate it. Then Miko says we need more subscribers, and look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows that fandom is family.